What's up, everyone? Today, we're talking used cars. Buying a used car can be a daunting process, especially in America. There are so many things to consider, from researching the right model to negotiating a fair price, and it's easy to get overwhelmed. That's why I've put together this comprehensive guide, packed with 10 essential tips that will help you navigate the used car market like a pro. Whether you're a first-time buyer or a seasoned car enthusiast, these tips will arm you with the knowledge and confidence you need to score an amazing deal on your next used car. We'll cover everything from setting a budget and getting pre-approved for financing, to inspecting the vehicle and negotiating like a shark. I'm talking about real-world advice, the kind of stuff they don't teach you in driver's ed, designed to help you avoid common pitfalls and make a smart, informed decision. So buckle up, hit that subscribe button, and let's dive into the wild world of used cars. Alright, before you even think about stepping foot on a car lot, we need to talk about the most important thing, your budget. And no, I'm not just talking about how much you're willing to spend on the car itself. I'm talking about the total cost of ownership. That means factoring in everything. We're talking monthly payments if you're financing, insurance costs, and trust me, you want to get quotes beforehand because they can vary wildly. Maintenance and repairs, gas consumption, and don't forget about registration and taxes. All of these expenses add up quickly. Now here's a pro tip. Your car payment should never exceed 15% of your monthly take-home pay. This is crucial to avoid putting a strain on your finances and ensuring you can comfortably afford your new ride. Remember, buying a car is a marathon, not a sprint. To figure out what you can realistically afford, use tools like Kelley Blue Book and NADA Guides. These websites are your best friends when it comes to researching fair market values for used cars based on their make, model, year, mileage, and condition. Armed with this information, you can set a realistic budget and avoid overpaying. Kelley Blue Book and NADA Guides are like the encyclopedias of used car values. They provide comprehensive data and historical pricing trends to give you a solid understanding of what similar cars are actually selling for in your area. Don't just rely on the asking price you see on Craigslist or Facebook Marketplace. Those can be wildly optimistic, to say the least. Instead, use these tools to determine a fair market value range for the specific make, model, year, and mileage of the car you're interested in. Take your time, browse through different listings, and compare prices. Pay attention to the condition reports and any additional features or options that might affect the value. The more research you do up front, the better equipped you'll be to spot a good deal and negotiate effectively. Remember, knowledge is power, especially in the used car market. So do your homework, set a realistic budget, and be prepared to walk away if a deal doesn't feel right. Alright, now that you've got your budget locked in, it's time to talk financing. And trust me, getting pre-approved for a car loan before you even set foot in a dealership is an absolute game changer. Why? Because it gives you negotiating power. When you walk into a dealership with a pre-approval letter in hand, you're essentially saying, hey, I'm already approved for this amount, so let's cut to the chase and talk about the best deal you can offer me on this car. But don't just settle for the first pre-approval you get. Shop around. Visit your bank, credit union, and even online lenders to compare interest rates and loan terms. Remember, even a small difference in interest rates can save you thousands of dollars over the life of the loan. And here's a pro tip. Watch out for dealership markup on interest rates. Dealerships often have agreements with lenders that allow them to mark up the interest rate to make a profit. This is why it's crucial to have your own financing in place so you can compare apples to apples and avoid paying inflated rates. Alright, so you found a used car that checks all the boxes so far. It's the right model, the right price, and it even has that cup holder configuration you've always dreamed of. But hold your horses, because before you even think about whipping out your checkbook, we need to talk about the vehicle history report. This, my friends, is where the truth comes out. Think of the vehicle history report like a background check for your potential car. It's going to tell you all the juicy details, the good, the bad, and the ugly. You see, used cars, they have a past, and just like with people, sometimes that past can be a little, shall we say, colorful. Now, there are a couple of big players in the vehicle history report game, and those are Carfax and AutoCheck. These services compile data from a whole bunch of sources like state DMVs, insurance companies, and even repair shops. They're looking for things like accidents, reported damage, odometer rollbacks, you name it. And here's the kicker, folks. You absolutely need to run a vehicle history report before you even think about buying a used car. I don't care if the seller is your grandma's best friend's neighbor's dog walker, get that report. Trust me, it's worth every penny. Okay, so you've got your vehicle history report in hand. Now what? Well, you're going to want to look for a few key things. First and foremost, any accidents. Now, a minor fender bender might not be a deal breaker, but a major accident? That's a whole different story. You want to know what you're getting yourself into. Next up, the number of previous owners. A car that's changed hands a bunch of times could be a red flag. It might mean that there have been some underlying issues that previous owners just didn't want to deal with. Not always the case, but something to keep in mind. Service history is another big one. Regular maintenance is key to a long and happy car life, so you want to see evidence of oil changes, tire rotations, all that good stuff. If a car has a spotty service history, it could be a sign that the previous owner wasn't exactly a stickler for routine maintenance. And finally, you absolutely have to check the title status. You want to make sure the title is clean and clear. Avoid salvage titles like the plague. A salvage title basically means the car has been declared a total loss by an insurance company, usually because of an accident or flood damage. You don't want to touch a salvage title with a 10-foot pole. Alright, so you've done your research, you've run the vehicle history report, and everything seems to be checking out, you're feeling good, ready to seal the deal. But hold on a second there, Speed Racer, because we've got one more crucial step, the pre-purchase inspection. This, my friends, is non-negotiable. Now, I know what you're thinking. Doug, my buddy's brother-in-law's mechanic, owes me a favor. I'm sure he can take a quick look. No, no, no. When it comes to a pre-purchase inspection, you want a trusted, independent mechanic, preferably one who specializes in the make and model of the car you're looking at. Why is this so important? Because a professional mechanic knows exactly what to look for. They've seen it all and they'll be able to spot any potential issues that you might miss. We're talking about things like engine problems, transmission issues, suspension components, brake wear and tear, you name it. And here's the thing. A pre-purchase inspection is a small price to pay for peace of mind. Think of it as an investment in your potential car's future. Because trust me, a few $100 for an inspection now could save you thousands in costly repairs down the road. So, you've booked your pre-purchase inspection. Now what? Well, first things first, make sure you choose a reputable mechanic who comes highly recommended. Once you've found your guy, or gal, give them a call and schedule an appointment. Be prepared to drop the car off for a few hours, as a thorough inspection takes time. During the inspection, the mechanic will put the car through a rigorous examination, checking everything from the engine and transmission to the brakes and suspension. They'll also be looking for any signs of rust, corrosion, or previous repairs. Basically, they're giving the car a complete head-to-toe checkup. Once the inspection is complete, the mechanic will provide you with a detailed report outlining their findings. This report will include any issues they found, both major and minor, as well as an estimate for any necessary repairs. This is where things get interesting, folks. Armed with this report, you now have some serious negotiating power. If the inspection reveals any major issues, you can use this information to try to negotiate a lower price with the seller. And if the seller isn't willing to budge on price, well, then you can walk away knowing that you dodged a bullet. Alright, so the vehicle history report looks good, the pre-purchase inspection came back clean, and you're itching to get behind the wheel. Well, buckle up because it's time for the test drive. This is your chance to really get a feel for the car and make sure it's the right fit for you. But before you hit the road, we need to talk about the importance of a comprehensive test drive checklist. Now, I'm not talking about a quick spin around the block. We're talking about a thorough evaluation of the car's performance, handling, and overall condition. This is your opportunity to listen for any unusual noises, feel for any vibrations, and make sure everything is working as it should. Don't be afraid to really put the car through its paces. After all, you're about to potentially spend a significant amount of money on this thing. And remember, the test drive isn't just about the car, it's also about you. How does the car make you feel when you're behind the wheel? Are you comfortable, confident, excited? These are all important factors to consider. Now let's talk specifics. What exactly should you be looking for during your test drive? Well, first and foremost, pay close attention to the engine. Does it start up smoothly? Are there any strange noises? Does it accelerate without hesitation? These are all telltale signs of a healthy engine. Next up, the transmission. Does it shift smoothly between gears? Are there any jerks or delays? A smooth shifting transmission is crucial for a comfortable and enjoyable driving experience. Don't forget about the brakes. Do they feel responsive? Is there any pulsing or vibration when you apply pressure? Your brakes are your lifeline on the road, so make sure they're in tip-top shape. And of course, you'll want to pay attention to the steering and suspension. Does the car track straight? Is there any excessive body roll in corners? These are all signs of a well-maintained suspension system. Finally, take some time to familiarize yourself with the car's features and controls. Do all the electronics work? How's the air conditioning and heating? These might seem like small details, but they can make a big difference in your overall driving experience. Alright, so you've found the car of your dreams, you've had it inspected, and you're pretty sure it's the one. Now comes the fun part, haggling with the seller. A lot of people dread this part, but it doesn't have to be a painful experience. First things first, you gotta know what you're dealing with. Before you even step foot in the dealership or meet with a private seller, do your research. Use websites like Kelley Blue Book or Edmunds to get a good understanding of the fair market value of the car you're interested in. And don't just look at the asking price, check out what similar cars have actually sold for recently. Once you have a solid understanding of the car's worth, it's time to come up with your strategy. Now, I'm not saying you should walk in there like a used car salesman from a movie, but you do need to be prepared to negotiate. Start by offering a price that's about 15 to 20% below the asking price. This gives you some wiggle room and shows the seller you're serious about making a deal. Now, here's a pro tip. Don't get bogged down negotiating the monthly payment. Dealers love to do this because it makes it seem like you're spending less, but what they're really doing is manipulating the loan terms and interest rate to make it fit within your budget. Focus on the total price of the car. That's the number you want to get down. Remember, knowledge is power, and in the world of used car buying, a little bit of negotiation savvy can go a long way. Now, when it comes to getting the best deal, timing can be everything. Just like there are good and bad times to buy a new car, the same holds true for used cars. You see, dealerships have sales quotas to meet, and they're more likely to be in a negotiating mood at certain times of the month, quarter, or even year. One of the best times to buy a used car is at the end of the month. Salespeople are often trying to hit their targets, and might be more willing to cut you a deal to move a car off the lot. The end of the year, especially the last week of December, can also be a prime time to buy. Dealerships are eager to clear out their inventory to make room for new models and might be more open to negotiation. Another pro tip: consider buying on a weekday rather than a weekend. Dealerships are typically less busy during the week, which means you'll have more time to negotiate without feeling rushed or pressured. Plus, salespeople might be more willing to work with you when they're not juggling multiple customers. And here's a little bonus tip: keep an eye on the weather. Rainy or snowy days might seem like a drag for car shopping, but they can actually work in your favor. Dealerships are often less crowded on bad weather days, giving you more leverage in negotiations. Remember, a little patience and strategic timing can save you a significant amount of money in the long run. Okay, so you've negotiated a price, you're happy with the deal, and you're ready to sign on the dotted line. But hold your horses. Before you hand over any money, it's crucial to thoroughly review all the documentation. And I mean every single piece of paper. First and foremost, carefully examine the title. Make sure the vehicle identification number on the title matches the VIN on the car itself. Check for any discrepancies or inconsistencies. You also want to look for any indication of the car being branded, meaning it's been in a major accident, flood, or fire. A branded title can significantly impact the car's value and resale potential. Next up, scrutinize the maintenance records. A well-documented service history can give you valuable insights into the car's past and potential future issues. Look for regular oil changes, scheduled maintenance, and any major repairs that have been performed. If the seller doesn't have these records readily available, it's a huge red flag. And don't forget about the warranty information. If the car is still under factory warranty, review the terms and conditions carefully. Understand what's covered and for how long. If the seller is offering an extended warranty, be sure to read the fine print and understand the coverage terms. Remember, the devil is in the details, and being thorough with the paperwork can save you from potential headaches down the road. Now let's talk about some additional documentation that you need to pay close attention to. First, verify the owner's identity. Make sure the name on the title matches the seller's driver's license. This might seem obvious, but you'd be surprised how many people overlook this simple step. You want to ensure you're dealing with the rightful owner of the vehicle. Next, check for any liens on the car. A lien is basically a legal claim against the vehicle, usually due to an outstanding loan or unpaid repairs. If there's a lien on the car, you could end up being responsible for the previous owner's debt. You can check for liens online through services like Carfax or AutoCheck, or by contacting your state's DMV. While you're at it, take a moment to familiarize yourself with your state's specific documentation requirements for buying a used car. Each state has its own set of rules and regulations, so it's crucial to be in the know. For example, some states require a bill of sale while others don't. You can usually find this information on your state's DMV website. And here's another pro tip. Make copies of all the documents, including the title, registration, bill of sale, and any inspection reports. Keep these copies in a safe place, separate from the originals. This way, you'll have backup documentation in case anything gets lost or damaged. Remember, when it comes to buying a used car, it's always better to be safe than sorry. Alright folks, you've made it this far in the used car buying journey. You've researched, inspected, negotiated, and you're almost ready to seal the deal. But before you sign, consider timing your purchase. Just like new cars, there are optimal times to buy used cars. December, especially the last week, is prime time for deals. Dealerships want to clear out inventory for new models. They're often willing to slash prices and offer discounts. Salespeople are eager to hit year-end targets and bonuses. The end of any month, quarter, or model year can also be great. Look for sales events, promotions, and special financing offers. Timing is everything when it comes to maximizing your savings. Now I know what you're thinking, Doug. I can't just wait around forever for the perfect deal to magically appear. And you're right, patience is important, but it shouldn't come at the expense of missing out on a great car. Set up alerts on car buying websites like cars.com and AutoTrader. You'll get notifications when a car matching your criteria is listed. This way, you'll be among the first to know about potential deals. Don't be afraid to walk away if the price isn't right. Knowledge is power. The more informed you are, the better deals you'll find. Buying a used car should be exciting, not stressful. Enjoy the process and negotiate your way to a fantastic deal. Alright, so you found the perfect used car. You're practically doing donuts in the dealership parking lot already. But hold your horses, you absolutely positively need to figure out insurance before you sign on the dotted line. This isn't like picking out floor mats, folks. Insurance rates can vary wildly depending on the car you choose. A sporty coupe might seem fun, but your insurance company will see dollar signs every time you punch the gas. And don't just go with the first quote you get. Shop around. Use those online comparison tools, call up a few different companies. It's worth spending a little extra time now to potentially save hundreds of dollars down the road. Trust me, your wallet will thank you. Now when you're comparing those insurance quotes, keep in mind that a bunch of factors come into play. Obviously the car itself is huge. Older vehicles might need liability only, while newer ones might require comprehensive and collision. Where you live matters too. Big city? High theft rate? Yeah, your premiums are gonna go up. And of course your driving record is like a report card for insurance companies. Clean record equals good rates. Speeding tickets equal, well, you get the idea. Don't forget about coverage types either. Liability is the bare minimum, but you might want to consider collision, comprehensive, uninsured motorist. It all depends on your risk tolerance and budget. Pro tip: see if you can bundle your car insurance with your home or renter's insurance. Many companies offer discounts for multiple policies, and who doesn't love saving a few bucks? Okay, congrats! You've navigated the wild world of used car buying and emerged victorious. Keys to your sweet new ride in hand. But before you hit the open road for that celebratory road trip, pump the brakes for a minute. There are a few crucial things to take care of right away. First and foremost, get that title transferred into your name as soon as possible. This proves you're the legal owner and protects you from any liability issues down the road. You'll also need to register the vehicle in your state and get those shiny new license plates. And while you're at it, don't forget about insurance. You did shop around and get quotes beforehand, right? Good. Now's the time to finalize that policy and get your insurance cards. Now that the legal stuff's out of the way, let's talk maintenance. Even if the previous owner swore they just had the car serviced, it's always a good idea to schedule an oil change and a quick once-over with your mechanic. And speaking of maintenance, create a schedule and stick to it. Regular oil changes, tire rotations, brake checks. These things might seem minor, but they can save you from major headaches and repair bills down the line. Finally, keep all your paperwork organized. Title, registration, insurance cards, maintenance records. Create a file, use a binder, whatever works for you. Just make sure you know where to find everything when you need it. Pro tip: take some time to familiarize yourself with your new car. Read the owner's manual, yes really. Figure out all the controls and maybe even give it a good wash and wax. After all, it's yours now. There you have it. Follow these 10 tips, and you'll be well equipped to make a smart used car purchase. Remember, knowledge is power, and in the world of used cars, a little bit of research can go a long way. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more money-saving car tips. Drop a comment below if you have questions or your own tips to share.